warning before you listen. This epic is not for children, nor for the faint of heart. We retell the ancient Greek myths as they were born, unfiltered, unsoftened. Scenes of violence, curses, betrayals, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. Given the many conflicting versions of the Titan War, the events have been rebuilt to complete the missing pieces. Here, we tell the myth as it was meant to be told. Sources and references are listed in the episode description. Chapter 3 from the Titan War, Clash of Weapons and the Fall of Time, the meeting of Earth and Lightning, the beginning of the alliance with Gaia. The night Gaia opened her heart to the thunderbolt, that night the wind did not rest, the trees did not sleep. Something ancient was stirring, deep within the soil, threads beneath the world quietly pulling on what no eyes could see. Zeus was asleep, or thought he was. His body lay on the stone, but inside him the lightning churned, asking, demanding, "What are our weapons? Where is our army? How do we fight time without teeth?" The sky gave no answer, but the earth was listening. Beneath the mountain's chest, the soil began to breathe, not with sound, but with a tremor in his bones, as if something was calling him, without a voice. He turned in his sleep, then jolted upright, heart cracked open to a call no living thing could ignore. Around him, silence drowned in stillness, but something was waking him. Without touch, he rose, said nothing, left no trace, and slipped from among his sleeping siblings like a ghost stepping out of a dream. The forest wasn't far, yet it felt like another world. A gate to something older than language, closer to wound than to word. He stepped inside, and the feeling wasn't fear. It was recognition, a falling that felt like truth. His footsteps echoed like confessions arriving too late, until he saw her, Gaia, seated deep within a cave, as though she had been waiting since the beginning of beginnings. Her face was neither light nor shadow, but something in between, a blend of hardness and peace. To look at her was to remember your mother, and forget how to breathe. Without moving, she said, "You're awake. Good. What I'm about to say cannot reach the ears of sleepers." Zeus did not speak, but his eyes carried 1,000 questions. The lightning within him quieted, as if preparing to hear its first secret. She continued, "You thought the war would begin with a scream, but screaming is not enough, and lightning alone doesn't start the fire. You need someone to fight with you, someone who strikes when you stumble and breaks when you hesitate." He stepped forward. "Who?" he asked. "Who do you mean?" She stood, and the whole cave seemed to rise with her. Her voice rang out like the first explosion in the silence of creation. "A force buried, soldiers unknown, creatures who obey no one, follow no throne. They are not your weapons, they are your balance. Unleash them, and they will turn the earth over. Betray them, and they will devour you as your father devoured his kin." Zeus fell into silence, then said, "Where are they? Release them." Gaia shook her head. "Not until you swear. I want an oath no war can break, no blood can wash away. Promise me you won't chain them, won't devour them, won't imprison them as your father did, that you won't restart the cycle as the sky has done before." He looked into her for a long time, then raised his hand. "I swear I will not be another stomach that consumes power. I will not be another shackle that twists the different into the broken. I will unleash them free, and I will fight beside them, not above them." Gaia closed her eyes, and for a moment, the earth itself exhaled, as if it had been holding its breath for 1,000 years. She said, "Good. But before you touch the gate, you must know who they are, and who I am to them, and why the world has never heard of them, even though they were born long before any throne." Zeus stepped closer. The thunder in his blood began to groan. "Who are they?" he asked. "Why were they buried?" Gaia looked at him slowly, a gaze that uprooted thought from its core, and said, "Listen well, son of Rhea, for I shall now tell you the forgotten crime." This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.